Across the world, there are houses people refuse to live in, buildings avoided after dark, and homes where time seems to have stopped. These aren't just legends passed down through imagination alone. They are places with documented deaths, eyewitness accounts, and decades of unexplained activity. From private homes to former prisons and sprawling family estates, these locations share one thing in common. People who enter them report seeing figures, hearing voices, and feeling an unshakable sense of being watched. Tonight, we explore 15 of the most haunted houses in the world, places where the past never truly left. Our journey begins in New York with a house that defined a generation of horror, the Amityville House. In 1975, George and Kathleen Lutz fled their new home after just 28 days, claiming it was overtaken by a terrifying, dark presence. This came only a year after the entire DeFeo family was brutally murdered inside the house. The Lutz family reported bone-chilling phenomena, disembodied voices commanding them to get out, red eyes glowing in the dark, and walls that oozed a strange, unknown substance. Though the house has changed owners many times since, and its iconic eye-like windows have been altered, reports of unexplained disturbances continue to surface, cementing its place in paranormal history. Next, we travel to Rhode Island, to a farmhouse that inspired the blockbuster film The Conjuring. Known as the Perron family farmhouse, this property dates back to the 1700s and carries a history soaked in tragedy. Multiple families have reported violent hauntings, including physical attacks by unseen forces, shoves, scratches, and slaps from thin air. Former residents claim a host of spirits inhabit the home. Some are said to be benevolent, like the gentle spirit of a young boy. Others, however, are described as extremely hostile, tied to a long history of suffering on the land. Paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren deemed it one of the most significant cases of their careers, and it remains one of the most active haunted locations in America. Crossing the Atlantic, we arrive at the site of what was once called the most haunted house in England, Borley Rectory. Although the building itself was demolished in 1944 after a fire, its ghostly reputation lives on. Built on the grounds of a former monastery, the rectory's most famous spirit was that of a sorrowful, ghostly nun, who was reportedly seen for decades gliding through the gardens. Long before ghost hunting became popular, witnesses described a storm of paranormal activity. Phantom footsteps echoing in empty halls, hushed whispering voices, and objects moving on their own. Even after its destruction, the legend of Borley Rectory continues to haunt the English countryside. Back in the United States, we visit the quiet town of Villisca, Iowa, home to a crime scene that has never faded. In 1912, 8 people, 2 adults and 6 children, were brutally murdered in their sleep with an axe. The killer was never identified, leaving a permanent shadow over the town and the house itself. Today, the Villisca Axe Murder House is a magnet for the morbidly curious. Visitors report hearing the distinct voices of children when none are present, doors slamming shut with violent force, and an overwhelming, oppressive sense of fear that descends upon entering. Some paranormal investigators even claim to have been touched or pushed by an unseen hand, as if the house's tragic energy is still violently active. Our 5th location takes us to a place of utter despair, Poveglia Island in Italy. Though not a house in the traditional sense, this abandoned hospital complex is a monument to suffering. It first served as a quarantine station, isolating thousands of plague victims who were left to die and be burned in mass graves. Later, it was converted into a psychiatric facility where a cruel doctor was rumored to perform horrific experiments on patients. Legend says he was tormented by the spirits he'd wronged, eventually throwing himself from the bell tower. Locals refused to set foot on the island, believing the souls of the dead never left and that their screams can still be heard across the water. In the American South, we find the Myrtles Plantation in Louisiana. Built in the late 1700s, this beautiful antebellum home is believed to sit on an ancient burial ground, and its history is stained with tragedy. Guests and staff report a wide range of paranormal encounters. Mirrors are said to occasionally show faces that aren't really there. The faint sound of children laughing echoes through the halls, and ghostly figures frequently appear in photographs taken on the property. One spirit, a former enslaved woman known as Chloe, is often blamed for many of the disturbances, forever tied to the plantation's dark and complicated past. Now to Northern Ireland and the historic Ballygley Castle. Centuries ago, a noble woman named Lady Isabel Shaw was locked in a room by her husband and fell to her death from a tower window. Her spirit, it seems, never checked out. Guests at the Now Hotel still report seeing a sad, spectral figure wandering the corridors at night. Staff members confirm unexplained cold spots that appear suddenly, doors that open and close on their own, and a particular concentration of ghostly sightings. In and around room 204, believed to be the very room where Lady Isabel was imprisoned. In sunny California, we find a house built on a foundation of death, the Whaley House. Before the home was even constructed, the site was used for public hangings, and the ground was soaked in the final moments of condemned criminals. It's no surprise that the house has been associated with paranormal activity since the family first moved in. Footsteps are heard on the upper floors when no one is there. The distinct smell of cigar smoke fills rooms, believed to be the ghost of Thomas Whaley himself. Ghostly apparitions have been reported by both staff and visitors, their presence a constant reminder that the house also served as a courthouse, where justice and executions were carried out. Let's return to England, to Rainham Hall, home to one of the most famous ghost photographs ever taken. The spirit haunting this manor is known as the Brown Lady, believed to be the ghost of Lady Dorothy Walpole, who was locked away in the house by her husband until her death in the 1720s. For centuries, multiple credible witnesses have reported seeing a figure clad in a brown dress descending the grand staircase in complete silence. In 1936, a photographer for Country Life magazine captured her ghostly form, creating an image that has puzzled experts and fueled belief in her existence ever since. Not far away lies Hinton Ampner House, a location with roots stretching back to the 1300s. The land has seen it all: executions, religious persecution, and bitter family disputes. Over the centuries, tenants and visitors have documented terrifying phenomena. They report hearing disembodied chanting, seeing dark shadow figures darting through doorways, and feeling an overwhelming sense of despair and hopelessness wash over them. Some even claim the building itself feels alive, imbued with the misery of its long and violent history. Even the heart of America's capital isn't safe from spirits. The Octagon House in Washington, D.C., once occupied by presidents, politicians, and military leaders, is renowned for its paranormal activity. The most common reports are of disembodied footsteps pacing the upper floors and the faint sound of children's laughter. But these aren't just old tales. Modern security personnel and staff have logged countless unexplained incidents, from alarms going off in empty rooms to doors unlocking themselves, even during broad daylight hours, proving that this historic house has secrets it's not ready to give up. Next, we visit one of Wales' oldest and most intimidating pubs, the Sgurryd Inn. This ancient establishment wasn't just a place for travelers to rest. It was also used as a courthouse where over 180 people were found guilty and executed by hanging right inside the building. Visitors today report a heavy, menacing atmosphere. Some have seen the nooses, still hanging from a beam, begin to swing on their own. Others hear ghostly whispers begging for mercy, or feel an invisible rope tightening around their necks. The energy of judgment and death is said to cling to the very timbers of the inn. Down under in Australia, we find the Monte Cristo homestead, often called the country's most haunted house. A string of tragic and violent deaths occurred within its walls, including a young child who fell down the stairs, a maid who fell from a balcony, and a stable boy who burned to death. The original family, the Crawleys, were known for their strict rule and enduring sorrow. Today, the homestead is blamed for sudden illnesses, unexplained scratches appearing on visitors' skin, and a feeling of extreme dread that many find too intense to bear. Perhaps the most terrifying location on our list is the ancient Ram Inn in England. Dating back to 1145, this inn is believed to sit on the intersection of two ancient ley lines and a pagan burial ground. The reports here go beyond simple ghosts. They speak of demonic entities, violent poltergeist activity, and even possession. People claim to have been grabbed, pushed, and tormented by unseen forces. Even seasoned paranormal investigators and hardened skeptics have fled the building in terror, claiming that something sinister followed them home. Finally, we arrive in New Orleans at the infamous Lalaurie Mansion. Behind its elegant facade, this house was the site of unimaginable cruelty. In the 1830s, its owner, Delphine Lalaurie, was a respected socialite who secretly tortured and murdered enslaved people in a hidden attic chamber. When a fire exposed her horrific deeds, the town was shocked to discover her victims, some still alive but horribly mutilated. To this day, the mansion is considered a place of profound evil. Subsequent owners and passers-by report hearing blood-curdling screams, seeing shadow figures in the windows, and feeling an aura of pain that saturates the property. These houses are stark reminders that places can absorb memory. Walls remember trauma, floors remember footsteps, and sometimes the events that happened inside a building never truly disappear. Whether they are haunted by spirits, by the lingering energy of guilt, or by history itself, these homes continue to draw curiosity and fear from all who are brave enough to approach them. And if there is one lesson shared by all of these places, it is this: some doors are locked for a very, very good reason. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this look into the shadows, don't forget to like and subscribe for more explorations into the unknown.